So is Meghan as popular as what she believes that she is? Or the fan base that run around on social media saying how amazing Meghan is, bearing in mind that her products have just launched and they're sold out already. But is there something going on behind the scenes, and are we being lied to again in regards to Meghan and what she's getting up to in regards to her product selling and her Instagram posts that she's regularly putting up every single day, pretty much? So in these videos that I do, I use my experience of being a therapist of around 20 years, but I've also been in the field of psychology well over 20 years because I have done a lot of research. It's been a very big passion of mine, especially studying narcissism. And so using these tools, I hope to give you some tips to help you navigate what is going on in your life, but also breaking down, as I've said, the lies that we are being told on mainstream media. So if this is the type of channel for you, then please don't forget to like the videos if you've enjoyed them. Think about subscribing to the channel because it does help the algorithm, and it does also help keeping people like myself who are wanting to expose the truth relevant on social media. That being said, if you want to continue after this point, grab your cuppa and sit back, relax as we get into this video. So hey everyone, welcome to the new people that have been joining this channel, who've been enjoying my content, and also to the wonderful, wonderful people who've also been sticking with me since the beginning or who've been with me just a very long time. As most of you know, I'm not a fan of Harry and Meghan, and not because of them in a sense personally, but due to their behaviour, which is what I explore here. So Meghan's products have dropped, and I say Meghan's products very loosely because when she first started out on this venture, she assured us that these were homemade products, that she was slaving away, all right, they're my words, not hers, but she was slaving away in the kitchen counter with her homegrown fruits that she's garnered from her own garden, albeit that when she did her Netflix show, she hired a house and hired their garden. So yeah, whatever as ever. And yeah, so a little bit of confusion there, but yeah, she's come out and she's had to say, in my opinion, because she cannot keep saying these are homemade because they're not. So she's come out with her products and she has admitted to the fact that they are being made in a factory, albeit that there are still some posts going around where apparently her friends or her sources are saying that no, it's her fruit that's being used for these jams. Right. So we are being led to believe that Meghan is picking her own fruit from her own garden that she didn't use in the Netflix cooking show that she did, perhaps because she was saving them. And she's then transporting them to a factory who are then using them to create this jam. Yeah, I'm going to call BS on that one, because what I think, and I'm pretty sure most of you will agree, is that these are factory made jams in production, and what she's done is she's probably chosen the jar, because I believe what a lot of these products, because I've seen them myself, and I believe you can choose the jar that the product gets made in, and then obviously that you then put your own label on it. And the company that makes the jam get a percentage, but then you also get, you get your percentage because you're showcasing the product. This is what I think is happening. So in a sense, she's just selling somebody else's jam. And this is my opinion. And so this is what she's done. I think that she's put these products out and she's selling them. So her products are being sold for, the jam is being sold for $14. Now let's just look at that for a second. $14, which equates to about just over £10 for a small jar of jam. I don't know about you, but even when I've gone to a farm shop and the farm shop actually uses their own products to create the jam, I have never seen a jam that's around £10. I think the most, which I bought one actually recently when I went to Glastonbury, and weirdly enough, it's kind of identical to Meghan's jam that I bought. And this one was actually £5.25. And actually, as you can see, it is pretty much, the shape of it is identical. Now, the ingredients of this one is literally 50% strawberries, sugar, lemon and pectin, which is pretty standard for a strawberry jam. But as you can see, and the place is called Bumbly's Preserves. Now, obviously, I don't know if this was actually made on site. I don't know, but this was from a farm shop. But if you look at the shape of the jam, it is pretty much identical to. And all right, I'm in the UK, so I can't imagine that Meghan has possibly got these and shipped them over. But you know, who knows? And it is very nice jam. Well, preserve actually. I mean, it's called jam, but it's the only thing I will say that the difference I find with jams like this is they're slightly runnier than when you get the sort of jelly-like consistency jams that we can have. But of course, hers is called spread now. It's not called jam. It's not called preserve. It's now spread. And the reason is because there's not as many strawberries or raspberries. There's not as much fruit in the jam. So she's already cut corners. You can see that, I mean, this is an identical site and it's £5.25. Now I buy also the King's jam. I've just ordered some more because I absolutely love his jam and his marmalade. He does an amazing blood orange marmalade. Now I do think that they don't ship to the United States, or if they do, it's quite expensive, which I think is a bit of a shame. But it's amazing. Now the jars are not as big, so you do have to take that into account. But you don't need a lot. It's very flavoursome. The jam is really lovely. They do a really nice, is it blackcurrant and raspberry, I think it is. And that's really nice too. And so I order from them high grade jam. But I also like the fact, and here's the biggest difference, is that all of the proceeds go to charity. All of the proceeds go back into our country in a sense. So they're doing good. They don't profit from the jam, whereas Meghan is going to profit from this jam. The honey, because I'm not going to say her honey, because I don't for a second believe that this is coming from the bees that she apparently has, is $28. And she's also selling dried flowers at $15, because apparently dried flowers need to go on absolutely everything. I think in one of her things, she was putting them on an omelette. Why? Because I'm not being funny. If someone gave me an omelette and it had dried flowers on it, I would look at my friend and think she's gone crackers. I would just be like, you can take that off. I'm not a rabbit. Don't need to eat your dried flowers. What is wrong with you? If you're doing things for a dinner party, then maybe you can. Not that I think I've ever put dried flowers on anything, because even in a dinner party, especially here in the UK, I think if I did a dinner party and I started sprinkling dried flowers over the barbecue, people would be like, what are you doing? What is wrong with you? You need to get off social media. You're going mad. My mum would probably slap me, to be fair. She'd be like, what are you doing? Stop it. So I mean, look, each to their own. And I just find it bizarre. But anyway, so obviously she's gone on social media, and I'm going to get to the social media aspect of things in a minute. And she has She's done this like 24 hours until my products are released. And so the products get released. And then I think the same day or the next day, she puts up a thing saying, everything's sold out. Now, if you look at one of the pictures when she has put her products up, it says limited amount. So that tells you that there are not many that is being put out there. So she's got some things available, but it's limited. So this will tell you why they've sold out, because, you know, she does have a fan base. I know it is not as big as what she pertains it to be, because again, if you look at the difference between her and her American Riviera orchard, when she first put that out on Instagram, she couldn't even break 1 million followers, and I think for the first few months it was just over 500,000. And if you looked at a lot of those, a lot of them were journalists, a lot of them were people like myself, albeit I never followed her, and I still haven't followed her because I refuse to. You can see her stuff without needing to follow her. You can see that a lot of them are also bots. So she's bought, what I would probably say, she's bought a lot of followers. So and this was before anyone knew that she was actually going to come on Instagram, because obviously for ages she's been saying, I don't like social media, I don't even look at social media. Again, I call BS on that. And so this was the closest any of her fan base or anyone was ever going to get to sort of seeing what Meghan puts out there. So you would think that if she's got this huge fan base, given that that's the only thing that she's got available, people would have followed her, and they didn't. So this tells you that actually she's not as popular as what she likes to believe that she is, or she's putting out there that she is. So these products that have gone out, like I say, firstly, they're not even hers. And I think if anyone is buying a product just because a celebrity sells it, without looking at the ingredients, without looking at whether you can get this cheaper elsewhere, are crazy. Like, even for example, when I have, say, some celebrities that I like, some influencers that I like, if I see them endorsing a product, I will always look at that product first and see, just because they're endorsing it, it's like even when I've put things up here, not every single person has gone on and bought it, you know, because you use your own brain and it might not be something you're interested in. I don't buy things from people just because it's the person. I look at the product. Like, for example, there's a influencer who's just brought out her own skincare line, Michaela, somebody, her now, again, I'm going to put her name, I'll put a picture up here. Now, I'm actually quite recent to following her. I didn't really know of her, but I started following her when she put out something and I was quite intrigued by the video. So I sort of started following her journey, and she endorses a lot of products. Now, most of you know by now, if you've been following me for a while, that I love makeup. I love all things makeup, glitter. I mean, I have glitter strands in my hair. I just love it because it's art, it's expression. I don't care what age you are. And I really don't, because I will be doing this until I'm physically not able to do it, because I do not, it's not that I don't care what people think, because I think I'm a human being. And so when you get a lot of negative feedback, it does impact you. Like, I've had people critiquing the fact that I've got a nose piercing. But at the end of the day, I don't let it influence me. So if I want to have a piercing, I will put in a piercing. If I wanted, like I want sparkles in my hair, 51 years of age, I don't let that define me, because it's a number. Nobody gets to tell me what I can or cannot do, because I see it in the comments. You should not be doing this. You should not be wearing that. I can't take you seriously when you're sitting there with a headband on, or when I wear my funny headdresses at Christmas. Don't then. I'm not going to read that and be like, oh, do you know what? I need to take my headdress off then because somebody doesn't like it. I don't care. I will wear what I want to wear, and that is how I am as a person. This brings me joy. Having sparkles in my hair, putting little diamantes on, doing the makeup different ways and trying different products brings me joy. And so I encourage anyone, please, if you're sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, I would love to do that, but oh, I'm too old, or it wouldn't look right on me. If you want to do it and it brings you joy, do it. Do not listen to anyone that says, well, I wouldn't do that, so I don't understand why you're too old to do that, because I get that a lot as well. You're too old to be doing, no, you're not. You embrace what brings you joy. If you want to wear pink hair, wear it, as long as it brings you joy. And so when I look at products, sorry, digress there for a second, I always research the product. You know, what are the ingredients? Just because somebody's endorsing it doesn't mean that it's good for me. It's good for my skin. People have asked me about my skincare and what works for me, but it might not work for you. So always do that research. The thing is with Meghan's cult fan base, because I call them that because they do behave, in my opinion, like a cult. They will blindly follow her. They will blindly support anything that she does. That they will enable any negativity that she does. They will twist and turn it. So when she brings out a product, they won't look at the fact that whether or not that product is something they actually want, or they can actually use or wear, or whatever it is. It will be, Meghan has put out a product, I'm going to buy it. And this is what influencers bank on, right? This is not new to someone like Meghan. This is what influencers do, because their face or who they are or what they do is the brand, and people, companies who are selling through that brand bank on the fact that when a celebrity puts out a product, people will buy it. So this is why influencers get endorsed. You know, it happens all the time. So again, that's not new, but the difference is that Meghan, in my opinion, and I'm going to show you something in a minute, I don't believe that she is as popular as what she is trying to allude to, which is why she feels the need to put out that things have sold out. This is creating the illusion, and again, this is not unusual for influencers to do, but we are talking about the fact that we know that Meghan is dishonest. So it's not going to suddenly change because she's now selling products. These products are not hers. They are not what she's lovingly, painstakingly made. And let's be honest, we have a lot of companies, small companies, that sell things on Etsy, or sell things in various other places, that are these small companies that are really struggling to showcase their brand. Now, this is something that I feel that Meghan could have done. What she could have done is said, you know what? I know that my platform gets a lot of attention. So why not find all these sort of small companies and help endorse them? But what she doesn't do that because she doesn't care about the small company. She wants to tap into the Hollywood elite. This is what it has always been, because these products, $14 for jam, $28 for honey, $15 for dried up flowers. You can do them yourself. These products are going to a market of people that have money, because most of us don't have this type of, you might buy this as a one-off thing, but this is not going to be something that's regular unless you're somebody that has got money. So the things that are sold out, I imagine that they are bought from the people that follow her. I don't think that celebrities have gone on and bought her jam. Maybe a couple that Abigail Spencer, who want to endorse her, and a couple of other people that she seems to have in her pocket. But she would also be the sort of person that would buy them herself. So don't think for a second that when she talks about them being sold out, that actually means that people have gone online and bought these products. She is the type of person that would buy these herself to create the illusion that it's been sold out. Obviously, that's something that's alleged, but this is the type of personality that she is. So the fact that she has come on and said, oh, look, these are sold out, but failing to actually acknowledge that there was only a limited amount in the first place, again creates the illusion that she had loads and loads and loads of products and loads of people have gone on and bought them within 24 hours and she's sold out. No, I do not believe that for any second. When you say a limited amount, it means that there is a limited amount being sold. So, and again, if you are somebody that is going on and buying and spending $14 on a jar of jam, it's jam. Let's just think about that for a second. And it's not even the strawberry jam that she was promising everybody. It's raspberry jam. So you can, you've only got to look at the ingredients or whatever they are and think, well, you know what? I'm going to go and find a jam that has those exact ingredients. And I'm going to buy that myself from somewhere else. But you're paying $14 because she's the one putting it out and saying, but then that shows you that she doesn't care about the average person. I mean, by now I think we know that, but this again is another element of proving that she doesn't care about the average person, because there is absolutely, when you can buy this same type of jam for $5.25, and this is, like I say, from an actual farm shop, you know that, which is what $8? You can go anywhere, I'm sure. And I'm sure anyone here that's able to, say, buy this jam in the United States, you can buy jam a lot cheaper. You don't have to, if you don't want to buy the supermarket jam, fair enough, but you can certainly, there's enough farm shops around to go and buy jam that's much cheaper than hers. So that says to me that these people are just not thinking straight. They're not thinking about the fact that, and I just want to add as well, one of the other things that I saw when she was plugging this jam spread, because I've got to call it spread now, was that you can take the jar. And I think she literally treats people like they're children. You can take the jar, and when you're finished with it, don't throw it away. No. You can keep the jar and you can put it by your bed and put a little tea light candle in it. Or you can use it for pens on your desk. Or you can put, like me, some just flowers and use it as a little vase. Well, thank you, Meghan, because wow, if you hadn't have said that, I was going to throw my jar away. And so in a way, what she's creating, again, the illusion of, is that you're not just getting jam. Oh, no. You're getting a vase as well. It's a twofer. It's a 2 for 1. No, Meghan. What you're getting is a glass jar and people can repurpose it. And this is what people have been doing for absolutely years. I keep all of my jars and I do use them for in the garden with tea lights. And if I decide to get creative, sometimes I buy those gel pens. And in the summer, I sit in my garden and I decorate my glass jars to put tea lights in because, well, it's just something I like to do. It's not particularly something you would buy because it's crazy, but why not? This is not new. This is not something, the dried flowers thing. Dried flowers have been around for eons. People have been drying flowers and using them for arts and crafts or whatever. Okay, sprinkling them on an omelette is pretty new, but sprinkling them on donuts isn't new. That's been done before. But she creates this as if she's the first person to come up with jam. She's the first person to come up with dried flowers. She's the first person to come up with honey. And that's how she presents things. But as I've said, if you are spending $28 on honey that's not even made by her, or jam that's not made by her, it's made in a factory, people are nuts. People are nuts. I'm sorry. And if you're spending $15 on dried flowers when you can literally do this yourself, it's not hard, then again, you're nuts. And you deserve to be ripped off by her, quite frankly. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on her. And again, like I say, this is just very standard influencer marketing. There's nothing new or exciting about what she's doing. And I want to also then talk about the fact that her As Ever brand was told that she cannot, and this again will show you what a narcissist will do, allegedly, because I have to say allegedly, this is my opinion, I believe Meghan is a malignant narcissist. And she has been told, because of the fact that she took the same name as the As Ever New York, who sell clothing, she didn't, particularly care of the backlash that person might get. But I think what it has done, I see as it's given the person attention, and they have gained followers from people like myself. I didn't even know about this company until this had come out. So, so there's some positivity to this. But she was told that she was not to merch clothing lines or anything like that. A narcissist is not going to accept that. As I've said before, they will not like to be told no. And I said when this came out originally that she will find a workaround, and she has. So now what she's doing is she's selling her very bland clothing under the name Meghan, but using her title. But again, this is something that she was told no to. Is it 2020, I believe, or around that time, Harry was duped, shocker, by two pranksters who told him that they were Greta Thunberg and her father, and he believed them. And so he's having this whole conversation with them. But what was very interesting, because I found the transcript to that conversation, is that in that conversation, he actually admits to the fact that I think he says he or they were told they cannot merchandise the royal titles, their titles. They cannot use their titles for monetary gain. It shows you, this is the transcript. So this is back when they first left. So this was absolutely one of the requirements, is that they cannot use their titles to merch. What is she doing? And what I find is interesting is that I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, that this really started to take hold when the late Queen passed away. Prior to that, I don't believe they were doing it as much, or they were just maybe testing the waters. But as soon as the late Queen died, all of a sudden, within not that long afterwards, we had their website, which was originally told they can't have. Suddenly that's gone up, and they're using Sussex. So they're using their titles in their website. And then now we have the fact that she is using the royal crest as a way to merch, using her Duchess of Sussex title to merch. This is again something that they were told not to do. So this is what happens when a narcissist is told no. So she's now finding a way to showcase clothing that she wears, that she likes, promoting, but also not only that, it's an affiliate link. So the affiliate link, which again is crazy to me, because when you can buy, and I think I did this in another video, when you can buy, and I'll use the example of this particular item, which is this amount, then she's adding on a lot more. I think like 400. I think the bag is like $700, and then you go through her link, and it's 1,100 and something. So she's adding on $400 to an item for profit. Why would you do that? Why would you then go through? I mean, if her fans, I doubt very much whether any of her fans are going to afford a $1,100 bag. That's probably their month's wages. But why would you go through her link? Why would you not just go straight through the place that originally has the bag for $700? That, in my opinion, is crazy. But this is what she's doing. She is now creating that. Usually, in my opinion, when, like, for example, if I showcase something, if you click on my link, you get a discount. You don't get it for a more expensive amount, because that doesn't make any sense. So usually you would think if she cared about her fans, she would say, look, this is the bag for $700, but hey, if you go through my link, you'll get it for $600. And that would encourage people, and that, okay, I can get behind that. But to click on her link and pay more when you could go to the actual brand website and buy it for $400 less doesn't make sense to me. And I think, again, it's cheeky the way she's marketed this, because what she's done is that these are the things that I like. These are the things that I wear, and bearing in mind they're all beige and white and black, but these are the things that, you know, that are, you know, and you can click on this and get what I like. But she doesn't say, unless it's in very small writing somewhere else, that actually you could go to the website and get this cheaper. It's actually, there is a markup on this. But yeah, but again, another thing that shows you that she doesn't care, especially because there's a cost of living crisis. She doesn't care about the average person. These are people, she is targeting people that have money. That's what she cares about. This leads me to really the crux of what I've been attempting to say here, in the fact that I was doing some digging, because I thought, you know what, I really want to find out if there's anywhere on social media or people that talk about this that can show that actually, is she as popular as what she pertains to be? And I stumbled across this young woman who was on TikTok, and she's somebody that has, I think it's her job where she's part of social media, like the search engine of who gets searched. So she's part of, I mean, I'm not exactly sure, so please don't quote me on this, but from what I can gather, she is somebody that looks at search engines, looks to see who is really popular, who's getting a lot of traffic to their who they are, and that is celebrities, etc. And interestingly, when I stumbled across this, somebody talked about Meghan. And of course, she got a lot of backlash for this, because she spoke about Meghan and the Princess of Wales, and in comparison. And I thought, and I was listening to her talking, and I thought, oh, this is very interesting. So I sort of scaled through some of her videos and found what I was looking for. So she did a search engine result on Meghan Markle. I'll put the lady up here that that is her channel, because obviously this isn't my findings, this is hers. And yeah, so it speaks volumes for itself. So here's the video now.
Also, my business, which I think there's been a lot of curiosity about.
There's been none, literally none. I mean, I work in the media. All I do is search trends and like find out what people want to know about. I look up Google Trends, Meta Trends, everything you can imagine, because it is my job to serve people content that they want on the internet. Nobody has been searching Meghan Markle's business or what she's up to or anything like that. I don't understand. But what I will tell you, without being anyone's doctor or formally trained in any way, is I think this may be an example of narcissism. Okay, first one, I'm going to move out of the way. Meghan Markle business, the global search volume for the entire planet is 440 searches for the last month. In the US, the main market for Netflix, 110. But you didn't look at Meghan Sussex. By the way, these are the search trends for like everyone searching anything on Google, okay? I recognize that ChatGPT is the thing and people are searching within TikTok, but like Google is a pretty good litmus test, okay? People are still using Google. Anyway, that's not the point. Look, Meghan Sussex. Can you see that right there? The volume for US searches in the past 30 days, 260, okay? And for the entire globe, under 3,000. Under 3,000! That's what I'm saying. Nobody is searching this. And I understand this is upsetting a lot of people. And a lot of people have called me a lot of bad names for saying nobody is searching this. But genuinely, from a data perspective, nobody cares about Meghan Markle's business. But we have to call a spade a spade. This is totally narcissism. This is not a whole globe, like, and $100 million worth of Netflix. Worth of search volume. People just don't care to the level that she thinks people care.
So right there you can see that actually she is not as popular. People are not searching for Meghan Markle. Now, I'm going to now show you Princess of Wales and the difference. And here's the video.
Okay, you asked for Kate Middleton. You are getting Kate Middleton. This is search data for the last 30 days in the US market alone, so not global. I'm just giving you a big picture. But you can see that even in the last 30 days, just in the US, long tail keyword searches like Kate Middleton new hair. Where is Kate Middleton? But Kate Middleton new hair is a good example. 33,000 searches. That is like miles beyond what we were talking about with Meghan Markle, right? Okay, there's more. To put it all in perspective, I would actually like to reference everybody's favorite princess from Queens, Fran Drescher. Even Fran Drescher, who has not had any level of hit show in actual decades, literal decades, okay? She is getting thousands of searches every month. Fran Drescher from The Nanny, that alone gets 2,000 searches every month. Now, if you want to go back to the prior videos and see that Meghan Markle business had only gotten 440 views or search requests on Google for the entire last 30 days across the entire planet, we're just apples and oranges. But I love data. I love data so much. And that's really all I'm presenting here. So make of that what you will. Do with it what you want. And if you have any others like this that you want to see, just let me know.
So as she says, this was when, so you would think that given the hype that she has put out and the amount of media posts that are being put out around her As Ever brand, the launch of As Ever, it shows you nobody is interested. There are really, I mean, given the fact that you'd think, given the way we're being created to believe that a lot of that so much is going on social media, that she's got this huge fan base, albeit that they're awful, it shows you it's not true. And actually, the Princess of Wales, who doesn't really have to do anything, is not, is being searched for a huge amount of times. And it's also worse because you look at the fact that people like myself look up things about Meghan Markle to do these videos. So it shows you that even when you strip back some of those, it's even less that she has got in regards to people looking her up. She is not interesting. Nobody is interested in her apart from a very select few people that actually potentially like her. But even a lot of those people probably are not searching for her. So most of those searches are going to be from people like myself or journalists who are looking up things regarding her. So the fact that you have the media outpouring of her, in a way, not her cult fan base, it's people, it's mainstream media, because the interest is not there. So this is what she's basically saying, is that because the interest isn't there, for the most part, the media really shouldn't be putting out things about her because no one cares. But they do it because, in all honesty, I think it's because of people like myself. Now, I'm going to speak for myself when I say that I do not click on media posts. I see the one that comes up, and the only time I might click on it is if it is something that I'm willing to talk about, and I want to see if I can find some source or evidence. That's it. I don't click on the ones that I class as clickbait or anything that's really positive about her. It doesn't interest me. But there are people that will, of course, because they want to scour and they want to do their videos, etc. And I get that, I understand it. But that shows you that really the people that are in a sense creating the interest are the people that are talking negatively about her. Because people that like her, it shows you right there, there's no searches for her, there's hardly any. But the Princess of Wales, who doesn't have to do anything, is searched for a lot all the time. So that then takes us to, well, hang on a minute, what about this cult fan base that she's got? They're everywhere. And this comes back to the fact that I believe, and I've said this for a long time, they are bots. And if you notice, and I did a video before her As Ever brand was launched, I said that they've gone quiet. I was putting out stuff on social media and I was hardly getting anything. I don't really get anything on YouTube. But then all of a sudden, and I've been talking about her from the beginning, so there's no reason why they would stop. But as soon as her As Ever brand started to gain a bit of traction and started to come out, and as when she was coming out on social media a lot more, all of a sudden, they're everywhere. When I put up something on TikTok, I'm getting slated, not that I care. If I put something on Instagram, they come out of the woodwork all of a sudden. I'm even getting comments that I delete on here, which I have not been getting at all. So again, this shows you that this is what she's doing. And I think this is what she's done from the beginning, but I think there comes a point when the money starts to dry up a little bit so that she stops employing these bot farms or these astroturfing accounts, which are, in a sense, people that are employed to put out these media posts about her. They're everywhere now. And I think a lot of that is because of the money. So there you go. You want evidence and you want proof that Meghan Markle is not as popular as what she pertains to be, or what the bot farm are leading you to believe. These accounts most of them are not real accounts. They're put out to bully people into silence, which is what I feel, going back to then what I've spoken about with Harry a couple of days ago. This is what they do. They are using the bot farms. They are using astroturfing accounts. Harry is using his privilege as a prince of the royal family to bully and silence people that speak out negatively about them. This is why it's incredibly dangerous to me that someone like him wants IPP status. Because to me then, that he then becomes untouchable. I strongly and firmly will die on this hill that I think that they do not want the truth coming out about the children. Inevitably, at some point, someone's going to leak something. I'm actually quite surprised it's not happened before now. But I think, if I'm honest, I think that the media is being monitored. So I do think that maybe someone has tried to leak something, but they get to it before it can be circulated, and they take it down, because all of these are monitored. And this is also why I believe that she's on Instagram now. This is the woman who said that she doesn't like social media. She'll never go on social media, hence why she's gone on, but she's deactivated her comments. But she's using her Instagram now to monopolize the media. We are getting an Instagram post every single day, pretty much. And that's not unusual for people, influencers. But if you look at the fact that, when you have Kim Kardashian putting out things every single day, or other, sort of famous people, it doesn't go into the mainstream media. But everything Meghan does, the media report on. And this is what she wants. So now she's attempting to eclipse even Harry. So it's going to be every single day we're getting an onslaught of Meghan Markle, Meghan Markle, Meghan Markle. She is saturating the media. And this is another reason why she'll never make it in Hollywood or anywhere like that. But I think at this point now, she doesn't particularly care, because she knows that she gets column inches. The media put out all these posts about her, and in some degree it does drown out even what the royal family are doing. And again, this is what she wants. The mainstream media are the problem. It's not people like us, because actually it's people like us that are reporting on the truth. The mainstream media are the problem. Because albeit the fact that people are not interested in her, and she doesn't have the huge fan base to go out and buy these papers, but they know that people are so angry with her that they will potentially read something that an article has been put out, because it's all the time. And more and more people, if you've only got to read the comments on some of the articles that go up, people are sick and tired of her. There's literally a very few that say, oh, just leave her alone, she's living her life. Most people are sick and tired of her because it's an onslaught every single day. And that is what she wanted. She wasn't getting that when she had Merchywell put up. And interesting that there's not really been much put out on their website, that nothing's been reported anyway. Nothing's really been put out on Archywell. And why? Because she's got her source now, which is her Instagram. She's putting everything on her Instagram. And that's why, you know, recent interview with the New York Times about her kitchen, that's mainstream news. And this is the problem. This is the state of the world that we're in today. She's got hardly any fans, but what she has got, for some unknown reason, is the mainstream media in her pocket, in a sense, because every time she does something, it's there. It's there in the mainstream media. And until that stops, she's going to continue doing what she's doing. She's going to continue using her Instagram to keep believing that she's relevant, when actually she's not. She's not. So let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Don't forget, all of the links to everything you can find in the description box of my video. Don't forget, if you want to be included in the question of the month, then please email me your question. And don't forget that you have to be subscribed for at least a month to be included, or a member of the channel. If you want to treat me to a cuppa because you've enjoyed what I do here, then the link again is also in the description box. For those of you who email asking if you can send me something or you can write to me, there is a PO box. I have an Amazon wish list, and thank you for people that have been sending some things for Arthur for his birthday. I really do appreciate that. He's very much enjoying them. And also I have a PO box as well. But like I say, everything is in that description box. Don't forget, you can also follow me on Instagram and TikTok, because I do other things, different things over on there. And I do rant a lot on Instagram. So there's always that. So yeah, so I hope you have a fantastic weekend, whatever you were doing. Hopefully, if the weather stays nice, I'm going to be pottering around in my garden, getting that ready for when the summer comes. So thank you so much, as always, and you know that I love you, I appreciate you, but most of all, I respect you. Take care. Bye-bye. Mwah.